Do you feel like you have to work way too much? Let's talk about that. All right. If you have a side business, or if you are in business for yourself, and or you work for a company that you take your work home, and or you are a hybrid or at home worker, and you feel like you work every single day, you don't get days off, you have to work weekends, there is some kind of problem here. We should not have to work 7 days a week. In fact, it is scientifically proven that if you don't have any time off, if you do not intentionally take that time off to recharge or to disconnect from that work, it's not only physically and emotionally and mentally unhealthy for you, but it's actually going to put you at a worse situation when you are doing your work. You're not going to be at your full capacity. And we all intellectually and intuitively know this, but so many times we have the pressure of that work that we just pull our bootstraps up and we just keep going and keep going and keep going. And we are what we call self-violating, and we just do it. And it doesn't feel good. We don't feel good after it or during it. We resent our work. Our families suffer. Our health suffers. There is no good situation that comes out of this. You might make a few extra dollars. You might make the company a little bit more money. You might get a little bit more popular because of it. But ultimately, your life and your sanity and your relationships are not worth that extra money, extra notoriety, extra popularity. It's not. I promise you, it's not worth that. So many times people are going to say, yeah, it was worth it because I made an extra $100,000 on these deals because I worked every day for 6 months on it, and I didn't have a day off, and I didn't take vacation and all that stuff. Well, go talk to their families, right? Is it worth losing that person emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things, relationally, for that extra $100 that they made the company? Probably not. You might think it's worth it, but everybody around you is going to say, no way. You are completely gone. You're out to lunch when it comes to our family. So we all intuitively know this, but how do we analyze the problem and then fix it? So if you are in that position where you feel you have to work weekends, and in fact, actually, side note, some of us have businesses where we're self-employed. I'm a good example of that. I'm self-employed. I can take my weekend on Monday and Tuesday. I can take my weekend on Thursday, Friday. I can take my weekend on the classic Saturday, Sunday. I can take my weekend Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't really matter when I have that, but I do have that intentional time off. I don't work full time, and that's intentional by choice. But if you have a full-time job or a full-time business and you are constantly working, you need to reanalyze this. So there are a few things that could be happening. We'll get back to the episode in just a second, but we wanted to give you a gift just for being here today. Thank you so much. We've got a 3-part video workshop absolutely free for you. This workshop is designed to help you get organized with your money so that you can give yourself a 10% raise. When you give yourself a 10% raise, you are going to have more money. And when you have more money, we will show you exactly what to do with that money so that you can get on the path to financial freedom and start living your life, your ideal life today. You're going to learn how to get out of debt. You're going to learn how to save money. You're going to learn how to free up money so that you can invest for your future. If you're unfulfilled with life, whether it be at work, in your personal life, or with your money, then this is the workshop for you. Visit sentinelcoaching.com/raise. That's sentinelcoaching.com/raise, or click the link in the description. Now, back to the episode. You could be in a season where there's some kind of emergency. That's okay. It could be just really bad timing. Everything is coming together, right? But if you cannot right the ship from this emergency in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, month tops, if you cannot fix that and actually have that time off that you need to take, then something is drastically wrong. That's a separate conversation for another day in business coaching. But if you cannot fix this problem, because of this emergency or this bad timing issue in a few weeks, and you're still having to work 7 days a week, 16, 20-hour days sometimes, that there's a problem. Okay, second thing that could be happening is you're just inefficient, right? And I'm inefficient sometimes, and in fact, a lot of times I'm inefficient, and that's okay, but I can be inefficient and I'm not putting myself at risk because I'm not working 60, 70-hour work weeks. So you could just be inefficient, and then there's some easy ways that you can actually fix that to become more efficient in your business or in your job. Or it could be the wrong job for you. So let's talk a little bit about the second two, because I already talked about that first one of if it's just a really bad time, there's emergencies that are happening, fires that need to be put out, you had a bad product, something happened where you've gotten all these returns or whatever it might be in your line of work, that just might be a situation that you have to handle, and that's a short time frame, and then you fix it, and then you get back to your normal schedule. So number two, let's talk about that, inefficiency. If you are inefficient at work and it's either taking you a lot longer, so you can't get your tasks done in your, for the classic example, 8-hour workday or 5-day work week, and it bleeds into the evenings, it bleeds earlier than your work hours in the morning, or it bleeds into your weekends or the days that you are typically going to have off, then you need to come up with some kind of system to create more efficiency for yourself or for your company. If that is the case, then you need to analyze, where are these efficiencies? What's happening? Is it communication with my staff? Is it self-discipline? Is it I don't have boundaries? Is it I don't have accountability, right? There's all these different things. Or it might be structurally, like you don't have good systems or processes in place for your software that you're using, so that you're doing things by hand instead of letting the computers do the work for you. All kinds of these things. That's what's going to cause you inefficiency. So you need to analyze where these inefficiencies are and then come up with some kind of systems to do that. Okay, the third thing, and this is kind of what I really wanted to focus on today, is if you are bleeding into the non-work hours or days, it could be the wrong job for you. Either you're not good at the job, and so it is creating those inefficiencies, or it's just draining for you. This is not your skill set. You can't actually do this. And we come up with this all the time, right? If you hired me, or if a company hired me to do budgeting, money management, some kind of financial stuff, I could probably do that pretty easily. But if they hired somebody else who doesn't have that skill set, well, how many hours do you think it's going to take them? It might take them twice as many hours for the same tasks because they don't have the skill set. And so some of us are in the wrong job. And so you need to really analyze, is this something that you need to, you might even be good at it actually, but maybe you hate it. Maybe it's not something you really want to do, and you need to get out of that job because you're not doing it very well. Even though you were good at it, you're not doing it very well because you've lost that interest, you've lost that passion, you've lost that drive, you've lost that interest in it. So you have to determine, am I really needing to get out of this job? If that's the case, then you need a plan in order to move forward in how do you figure out what job you should be getting. And then we can talk about that in a whole nother lesson. But the idea here is to analyze inefficiencies, analyze, is it bad timing? Or analyze, is it the right job for me? Right? If you can do that, then you can actually create a plan to have the ideal work just like your ideal life. Part of that ideal life is having that ideal work. I don't want you to be in a job and or have a business that you don't like, that you don't enjoy, that you're not getting life excitement out of. If that's the case, then let's have a conversation about what you need to be doing in order to actually enjoy what you do for work. So that's part of that ideal life, is actually having the job that you really like and that you can make money so that you can also have that ideal life. All right, so analyze those three things. Is it something that is bad timing and that you just need a short-term plan to get out, put all the fires out, and then actually take the time off? Is it inefficiency in any of the areas in your business or in your job? Or is it the wrong job for you? Analyze those things, and then you can actually create a plan to get out of it. Get back your weekends. Get back your time off. Get back your weekends. Get back the time with your family. Get back to being present while you're not working. You have to be able to take a break, disconnect from work so that you can actually be with the people that you love and enjoy yourself and recharge so that you can be 100% back when you are working. Work when you're at work, don't work when you're not at work. All right, we'll see you in another video.